What is more believable? The Black Stickman phenomenon, or Juice WRLD and Travis Scott conspiracies?
Let's dive into that. All right, this is our very first time ever doing this segment. New year, new segment. New me, right? We are going to be beautiful by summer because New Year's resolutions and everybody sticks to them. Just kidding. But this is something we've been wanting to do for a while. We've been wanting to get some video content out there. Don't really want to do our podcast in video format.
No, that's just how it is.
Just putting that out there. So this was a fun way, I think, that we could kind of take our podcast and turn it into something a little bit more than that. So this is the way that this is going to work. We are going to take every episode at the end of every month, break them down, and decide what is the most believable episode of that month. So we're going to rank them from one to last, and then they each kind of become their own separate entities. So every month gets their most believable and their most unbelievable. And then at the end of the year, in December 2022, who knows what's going to be happening, we will have the 12 most believable and the 12 most unbelievable, and then they will each get their own separate video. By the end of 2022, we will have the most believable episode topic we've covered, according to us, and the most unbelievable episode topic that we've covered all year.
I do want to clarify, every episode that is applicable.
Applicable?
I got it.
You know, you did. What that means, we're not including listener submissions. Now, that doesn't mean that listener submissions aren't worthy. That doesn't mean they're not good enough. That doesn't mean they're not our most horrifying episodes we cover, because honestly, I think they are.
They probably are, yeah.
But it's just, these are someone's personal encounters. I don't really want to step on toes. I would feel terrible if someone's personal encounter was our most unbelievable.
Oh.
So we're going to kind of stay out of that territory. And that's going to be the way this is framed. And make sure in the comments you let us know where you think we messed up, what you think we got right. We haven't even started yet, so hold the hate for a little bit. And I'm going to say specifically for this month, because it was kind of a random topic, the McCamey Manor episode 92 will not be included because
it's real.
It's real. It exists.
Yeah.
Is that unbelievable? Sure, but that's not going to fit this segment. So today we are talking about the Black Stickman phenomenon, and we're going to be talking about Juice WRLD and the Travis Scott conspiracies.
Right, so let's just start off first. The first one we did of the new year. Is that true?
Yes, this was the very first episode
of 2022. The Black Stickman phenomenon.
Yeah, this was a fun one. Because they're not shadow figures, but there's something
else about them.
Yeah, they're almost like interdimensional.
They were described as staticky, which is something that stuck with me.
I think it's one of those things that unless you experience it, it's really hard to explain. Like it's like one of those things that like your mind can't fully comprehend it, and you try your best to explain it, but you really can't because you have nothing to compare it to. But it is very, very random in terms of what people think it is. Is it a cryptid? Is it, a shadow figure? Is it a demon? Is it this interdimensional traveler? So a lot of that episode is based on personal encounters because there's not too much meat to it. That is the Black Stickman phenomenon. Let's talk a little bit about the Travis Scott and the Juice WRLD conspiracies.
Yes, I still like Juice WRLD. I've been listening to him still again.
Well, you shouldn't not like him because of this.
Well, no, absolutely not. But the conspiracies behind the two rappers are, one, that Travis Scott is a Satanist.
Yeah.
And the other is that Juice WRLD faked his death.
And or sold his soul.
Or
was it Travis Scott sold his soul?
Both.
Devil be collecting souls.
Yes. Also,
I know that the person that responded to the criticism is on YouTube, so there's a good chance you will actually be watching this. So I do want to say, typically I don't respond to, if there's like unnecessary criticism, I don't typically give it time of day. But I do apologize if it seemed like I was taking any sort of drug involvement nonchalantly.
No, I don't think we did. But it even come off that way.
Even if it wasn't intentional, if that's the way it was perceived, I apologize for that. And I always appreciate kind of like those checks and like, hey, I think this is how you're coming across. I try to be as self-aware as possible, so I do appreciate that.
Travis Scott selling his soul it comes through the imagery of the event itself,
like the mouth,
which is
right?
Astroworld
Walking
event.
into the
the mouth, and also imagery and advertising the concert, and also there is the idea that Juice WRLD sold his soul. He talks about a lot of that stuff in his songs, and the fact that he said it on Twitter that was his plan.
Which we did post everything in our Facebook group. Was that where all the text thread was that you talked about in that episode?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so those are the little summaries. Again, this is episode 90 and 91 if you want to get them in more full detail. So now let's talk about them in terms of which one might be a little bit more believable than the other, which this is a unique month because normally in a perfect month, although there'll probably be a listener submission in there, normally there will be at least 3, right? Like it'll be like a first, 3. Middle that doesn't make any of the rankings, and then third. But this is a unique month, and there's only 2. So there will only be a most believable and a most unbelievable, which really isn't fair, but we don't make the rules. We kind of do.
We do, actually.
So what do you, just right now, after we just kind of summarized, what are you feeling?
Well, there was one part of the Travis Scott conspiracy that made me think that was almost 100% believable, which was the idea that people were being drugged.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we both left the episode not even thinking it was actually a conspiracy because it seemed so plausible.
Yeah, I think I have a hard grasp on what the public feels about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, there have been people that have come out and said that that's not true because some people are not as reliable witnesses, so they think that's not what really happened. So the public feels like that didn't actually happen. So that's why it is a conspiracy.
I got you. And then with the Black Stickman phenomenon, I think the hardest thing about it, and we've talked about this before in episodes, is that the more details we have can actually hurt a topic sometimes. Like when you really pin it down and narrow a topic where you can really start kind of chipping away at what seems unbelievable. So sometimes if a episode topic is more vague, it actually feels more believable. But at the same time, in this case, it's almost like, yeah, it could be this, could be this, could be this. Now, in its defense, a lot of people claim to have seen these things, like a lot.
That's true, but how many of them are misdiagnosed shadow figures? I don't know.
You got the wrong DSM. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah. What is that now? 5 or 6?
I think it's on 5 or 6.
When I was in college, I think 4 was the.
I think it's 5 then. But yeah, I think that people maybe miscategorize these stick figures as what would be a shadow figure, but they think it's a stick figure, or it's a shadowy alien or something.
But here's the issue: that is breaking. That's saying that these are real. They're just miscategorized.
Okay.
But are they real?
I don't know if they all are. That's the question.
Right. So it's like one thing if all these black stickmen are real and some people are just mistaking them for other things, or they're other things and being mistaken as black stickman, versus if this is completely fake entirely. You know, that's one way of looking at it.
What I really like about that is, I know I didn't say this in the episode, but the dimension shifters. Because in essence, that's what they are. They're just missing a dimension. Right? So we're in the 3rd dimension.
It's like they're jumping rooftops and like, oh shit. And then they land here.
Yeah, and they're missing their
you
3rd
break
dimension.
Their legs.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And this is a tough one. I wish it was easier. I wish it was easy. I was actually leaning towards giving Travis Scott and Juice WRLD more believable. But I think I almost convinced myself to put Black Stickman more because there's just so many encounters. Even if, well,
I feel the opposite of that way. I feel like because of that one caveat of the Travis Scott, I put that as almost 100% believable because I do really believe that is a strong possibility of what happened at the concert.
Okay, so the way that we're doing this, we're not going to do individual rankings. It's just not going to happen. So it is going to come down to full-on debates if we strongly disagree. This one, I was kind of bouncing back and forth. I can definitely see your point with that. Do you feel passionately about this?
I do. I feel like I could debate that.
Okay.
I might even stumble into my point I thought of earlier.
I'm not going to make you do that because I feel very wishy-washy about it. I'm not too attached. I don't like putting Black Stickman Phenomenon in the unbelievable for the, like in December, when we make the most unbelievable video, Black Stickman Phenomenon is going to be in there, which sucks because I don't think it deserves to be in there. But I know it's not going to be the most unbelievable one we do the whole year. I'm willing to agree with you. Let's do the most believable episode for January of 2022 is the Juice WRLD and Travis Scott conspiracies, and the most unbelievable episode so far, which I don't agree with, but there's no other options. It is going to be the Black Stickman Phenomenon. We know you're out there, Black Stickman, so hit us up in the comments.
It's not fair to the Black
It's not. It's a rough first month. There's only 2 topics.
Yeah.
Most will have more. So that was our very first battle of the believability. There will be more. Obviously, there's going to be more. There's more months, unless a meteor comes. But, there's going to be more episodes per month, which I think will kind of make it more of a juggle than an either or. Mm-hmm. But we hope you enjoyed it. Let us know in the comments what you thought, if you think we got it right, if you think we got it wrong. Make sure you check out the podcast. This is bonus to that.
Yeah, this is like, if you buy the game, this is the extension to the game.
Exactly. So this is the DLC that was already part of the game when you got it. You just had to pay to unlock it.
Don't get me wrong. Podcast is free, but it's also really good DLC too.
Yes. We also have a Patreon if you want even more bonus content, some of which is video, some of which is audio. But all of that to say that we're going to get better at this. I know we probably coughed, touch our face. There's many edits.
Lots of things.
We're working on it, okay? We're starting this thing together. You guys are here.
YouTube Pro.
No, you guys are here for the first video we're doing. Real video on a YouTube channel. I'm not counting all the other crap we've done. Trash. But stay tuned for next month's ranking.